So I want to try out a little bit of a different format here with all of you who have been so nice as to follow me from Instagram to the YouTube platform. I posted on my story there that I've went to see The Joker, which is kind of a controversial movie, and a lot of people were asking me my opinion from a clinical mental health perspective. And so I kind of wanted to take some time to really do the topic diligence in sort of a more longer form that I don't think was very conducive to Instagram. So for those of you interested enough to follow me here, thank you. Y'all the real MVPs. So, you know, bro fist. If any of you like PewDiePie, I don't know. That's probably just me being a millennial. Forgive me. Thanks. So here's my thoughts. I got a lot of joke questions, which were great. Thank you. But when I left that movie, I was really hit with a feeling of just the gravity of the situation. And I don't think a lot of people understand. I meet with people every day who have been through situations like that or worse. And so we live in such, I know it's a meme, but we live in a society, but we live in a society where these things are expectations that we live with, expecting to be safe, expecting for things to be taken care of for us. And so the reason that I drive home so hard on this idea of personal responsibility and motivation is that, it's easy for us to displace that responsibility onto others and to think that something's always going to be there to catch us, and it won't. And so I don't ever want to be, I don't ever want to be an accessory to that crime where we're setting people up to rely on things that might not be there. The only thing I ever want you to rely on, not even me, especially not me, but yourself, because you're the only one that's always going to be there. And, we get into relationships and, married, spouse, significant other, whatever, those are the closest things we get to being able to rely on other people. But even then, there needs to be this level of personal responsibility that we never forsake as human beings, that we have to hold on to. So what does it have to do with the movie? When it comes to the movie, we have to understand that it's fun to watch this movie because it feels shocking. It feels really gruesome and gritty that someone would go to this level of depravity. But until, and this was my thought after ending that movie, until each and every one of you watching this understands that that level of depravity lives inside of you, lives inside of me, we'll never be safe from it. There's the story about Sleeping Beauty, and it's one of my favorites. Sleeping Beauty, she has her 16th birthday, and the parents, the king and queen, forget to invite Maleficent to the castle. Maleficent is the embodiment of evil, and by sheltering their daughter from that embodiment of evil, the story goes on to show how by neglecting to say that that's a real part of the world out there, that that's a real part of the world in here, we open ourselves up to the finger prick that can cause incapacitating sleep. And so without an authenticity, without an awareness that that level of depravity lives inside every human being, but that you're still an important human being, I think we open ourselves up to a lot of scary things, a lot of scary potentials that can leave the world in the place that it's in. And so, that was my main thought. There's some other thoughts. I thought the portrayal was awesome from a mental health perspective. I think that the way that it was portrayed was spot on from what I've seen come across in my clinical, in my office setting. That's what it looks like. It's really tough, and it really does feel like the world is out to get you. It's really difficult to deal with those things, and especially when your mind may not be working quite the way that it should, when your mind might not be working quite right, it's really difficult to get yourself out of those situations. So I love that, and especially the part where the social worker is just writing her notes while this guy spills his heart about how lonely and sad he is. I got to say, I've all too often seen that. I've seen that in people, in friends, in clinicians, and that's why I really recommend, if you're finding someone or you're in therapy and they're not working out for you, find someone else. It's okay. You don't need to take care of that therapist. break with them and find somebody else. It's all right. There's a lot of therapists out there, and a lot of therapists work in different ways, and you can find the one that works best for you. So there's that. There's the therapist. But then also, I'm losing my train of thought here. But I kind of wanted to say, I thought it was really cool, just the way that whole thing was portrayed. I thought it was really accurate. So, anyways, those are my main thoughts. I hope you like it. A little bit longer video. If you got any questions, send me a text message. I'd love to respond to them. Probably make some responses on my Instagram stories as well. But leave it with this for today. Until you are willing and able to accept the depravity, to accept the darkness that lives within each of us, you open yourself up to the biggest risk. Don't let that be you.